Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick video because I've been watching stuff going on ever since the Super Bowl. I'm sure a lot of you are aware that of course, Lady Gaga was the main or the halftime show, and following her amazing performance, which she didn't lip sync by the way, she danced her ass off for like, I don't know, 10, 12, 13 minutes and sang without missing a beat, without missing a step, and I thought she looked great. And I thought the outfits that she wore were super cute. And I thought she looked awesome. She looked hot. She looked healthy. You know, she's had a few years where she wasn't doing as well or wasn't as happy with the music industry. And I think it took a toll on her health. And she didn't look healthy for a few years there. Really super thin. And I'm not body shaming her or judging her for that. I honestly just want her to be healthy. And I think she looks, you know, healthier than and maybe even happier than she's been in a long time. I don't know. We're all just making these judgments and assumptions. But still, the body shamers, the haters, quite frankly, the stupid fucktards came out of the woodworks after her show because she showed like having maybe that much of a little tiny belly, which, you know what, she's in these tiny little booty shorts things. I work out in stuff that maybe isn't that little, but it's tight because you want it to stay up when you're jumping and dancing around. And so it squeezes you anyway. But still, these people, it blows my mind. Now, I know by human nature, we have just the innate response of looking at someone and making a snap judgment. I get that. Most normal, decent human beings, they have that thought, usually keep it to themselves. But social media has both good and bad sides to it. And one of the bad things is that social media has given a voice to all these fucking trolls in the world who hide behind a phone or a computer screen and feel like they have the right to outwardly judge someone's appearance. And you know what? I know that like some of the snapshots of the Twitter handles or feeds or whatever that I saw of people who were body shaming her, most of them what I saw were guys. Now there could have been women in there too, whatever. But I don't understand what gives a person a right to go on there and troll people and to judge them and to try and make them feel shitty. Like, what is the point? Why are you trying to make someone feel terrible? Now, Lady Gaga had an awesome response. She basically told everyone, you know, bite me, fuck off. And so that's great that she is confident in her own skin and confident enough because she's under a heavy limelight, a heavy spotlight. That's a lot of pressure. But lots of just like everyday men, women like you and me, especially women, I have to say, you know, get judged and put under this magnifying glass of whatever we're supposed to look like because of freaking magazines and airbrushing and photoshopping and all this kind of bullshit. We're supposed to live up to this unreal expectation. Guess what? We're not going to, because it's not real. It's photoshopped. It's airbrushed. It's ridiculous. And I'm not one for, and you know what, I have even, I've felt a little bit of that, you know, being too fat at one point, and then losing weight, and then being too skinny. In fact, I get that one now. I mean, I get that from my family. Luckily, I've never had a problem ignoring my family. So, you know, but I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, there's never a standard of where you're just good enough. You know what? According to, you know, society standards, according to media, according to trolls out on the internet, and I'm guessing a lot of them probably don't look that great themselves. That's just my guess. If they spend all their time and have enough free time to spend on Twitter and trolling the internet to judge other people, I'm guessing they're not that physically active. Just a thought. Could be wrong. But still, I don't understand why these people need to why they feel the need to go out and try to make other people feel worse. What exactly are you trying to accomplish with that? You know, in just messaging and talking to people, you know, I've had a couple of, usually guys, quite frankly, I've had a couple of guys who, you know, will message me about, I mean, I put myself out there with health and fitness, and that's fine. And they, you know, the first thing a lot of people do is they kind of stalk your Facebook page, and then they'll come back to me and without my asking, first of all, for their opinion, and then they'll say, you know what, you looked better a little when you were a little bigger, you looked better when you were thicker. Guess what, fucker? I wasn't asking, and I just met you on Facebook. I don't care about your opinion. And I'm guessing that Lady Gaga doesn't care about all of these other trolls' opinions either. So I would like to just ask, and unfortunately, you know, the people that probably need to see this probably aren't going to see it. Unless you guys share it. Maybe someone will see it, or tag some asshole that needs to see it. I don't know. But before you decide to go and try to shame someone or make them feel bad, maybe take a look in the mirror and start with yourself and figure out what the fuck is wrong before you go and try to point it all out on someone else. A lot of times that's what's going on, is you are deflecting, you are avoiding whatever issues, mental or physical, are going on in your own life, and you're turning it outward on someone else, and you're trying to make them feel shitty, and somehow that's supposed to make you feel better. Well, when that person doesn't care, in the case of Lady Gaga, in the case of me too, you have still nothing other than your own issues. And quite frankly, I mean, I feel sorry for you that that's the high point of your life, is trolling for people to try and put down. So, you know, the whole body shaming thing pisses me off. You know what? I have been in the position where I was a lot heavier, and I used to look at thin women, and I'm guilty of calling them skinny bitches. And now I'm in that scenario where other women even have looked at me and say the same thing. Now, I am not one for judging either way. There are women out there who are thin, who would love to gain weight and can't. Maybe it's for a medical reason. Maybe it's just their genetics. There are women out there who are heavier and would love to be thinner, and maybe they are having a hard time doing it because of medical reasons or whatever. You don't know. And same thing goes for guys. You know, body shaming goes that way too. It may not be as heavy or as prevalent, but it does exist. But you don't know what's behind that person's story. You know, how do you know if you're seeing a woman or a guy maybe who's 280 pounds, how do you know they didn't start at 400 pounds and they've dropped over 100 pounds? You don't fucking know. So keep your mouth shut. You know what? If you have your opinion, that's great. But not everything in that stupid head of yours needs to be put on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Especially stupid opinions that, quite frankly, just serve negativity, that serve to put down other people. It's ridiculous. So my plea out there to everybody is to be good to one another. You might have those snap judgments. It is human nature. I get that. But you don't need to vocalize it. And you certainly don't need to try and tell that person, because are you really thinking that by telling them that one, they're going to listen, and two, they're now going to heed your advice or trust your opinion or even think you're worth spending any time on? No. And especially, this is the last one I want to put out there for parents. Now, a lot of times parents mean to do well, but I grew up with old grandparents. I grew up with an old farmer grandpa born in the 1920s. So raising a teenage kid in the 90s couldn't have been easy. But here's what I can tell you, parents. Don't ask your kids if if they weigh too much, or do you really need that last cookie, or do you need this? Don't pinch their sides. Don't do any of that. Guess what? You know what? They have that McDonald's and they have that cookie because you let them, because you put it in their house. So I grew up with a grandpa who, I love him to death, and I always will, rest his soul, but he used to tell me that I was growing up this way, not this way. So you're getting fatter, you're not getting taller. That's the kind of shit that I had to deal with. And I know that there are probably some well-intentioned parents out there. You want your kids to be healthy, I hope. I get that. But don't give them body issues by talking about their weight and talking about this. If you want them to change you, change your house. Don't take them to McDonald's. Have healthy food at home. Have fresh food at home. Don't give them the processed crap. Don't just make them happy and keep them quiet by giving them soda and chips and all of that crap that has processed food, chemicals, sugar, and all that. You want your kid to not be overweight, because you know what? Childhood obesity is a huge epidemic. We are now entering an era where our kids are going to, quite frankly, die before parents will because of their weight problems. I know I'm kind of spiraling off and rabbit trailing, but it's all connected. So I just wanted to leave this with parents. You're going to say, well, Tanya, you don't have kids. No, but I was an overweight kid who had to deal with it. So I am just pleading to you, don't give your kids body issues. Uplift them, and if you want them to change the whole family house scenario. Change the food that's in your house. Be active as a family. You don't have to say, we're doing this because you're fat. Don't talk about yourself in a bad way either. Oh, I'm so fat, I'm so overweight, I'm so ugly. Don't do that either, because kids are emulating their parents. And they think you're their heroes. And if you don't even think that you're that great, guess what? Now they don't think they're that great, just by proxy. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. There's very few things that I get on here and rant about, but this one I've been watching now for the past week, and it's just pissed me the fuck off. So, stop body shaming people, be good to one another, uplift each other, pay some more compliments, receive those compliments, and make this world a little happier. There's enough crap going on right now. We don't need to add on to it by bickering with each other over stupid shit. So, that's all I wanted to say. Feel free to share this video. Feel free to tag people who might need an uplifting message. Feel free to tag people who might need a kind of kick in the ass about how they're treating or talking to others. And just be good to one another, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.